Right, so now that we've got these, let's start. I'm going to delete, I want to get rid of all these other points that we won't be using. So just drop delete and set this to points. Okay, and we'll just delete any point. So at CD, which is less than, we want really low values. Sorry, 0001, something like that. Okay, so we're getting a bit of that gradient there. Maybe I'll subdivide this just to smooth it a bit so we can get rid of these edges. Okay, and well, give us some more points actually. Right, something close to the kind of particle separation there. Right, so these will be the actual points that we're using to generate our volume. So use an add node to remove, which ironically add node to remove the points. Now we've got this nice kind of gradient here, and I want to use that so we have more fire, more density, more temperature in the middle, and that kind of gradually fades out to the edge, right? So I'm gonna, instead of setting up my attributes with this, okay, I'm just going to do it in a wrangle myself. So as I said, all this does is set these attributes and a particle scale, and you can do that all yourself, right? It doesn't have to be using one of these. And I'm going to do it in here using that color attribute, because the color will be between 0 and 1. The CD attribute, you can see it between 0 and 1. I'll just use one of these, RGB or XYZ, doesn't matter, one of them, and then I'll get a nice kind of gradient. Okay, so let's get on with that. So F at temperature is CD, and that's it. Not just CD. CD is a vector, so to grab one of those, just Y, X or Y or Z or R or G or B, it doesn't matter because we're in grayscale. I'm just going to use Y. Okay, F at density. It's important to specify here if it's a float or a vector because they don't exist beforehand. Okay, with CD it's not so important because it's kind of known by Houdini already. So CD.Y, the same for all of them. So density and flame as well. All of them are float values. Is at CD.Y. Fantastic. And the last one, we also need the P scale, and the P scale is going to depend on the particle separation. Okay, so what we can do is just, because this is going to be, it's going to depend on this and going to change depending on what we do here. I'm going to take that P scale value from there. Okay, so I'm going to dive in here and just set up a similar expression to what we just did. So F at P scale. Remember, the P scale is used to generate the volume, so the actual, it's like a size of the volume around each point. Okay, so if you have a large P scale, you'll have a big ball of volume around. Smaller P scale will be a smaller ball of volume, right? So the P scale will be the whatever we find coming into the first input, and we get that like this, point into the first input, and it's called P scale. So the name of the attribute, P scale. Okay. By the way, yeah, you can see I was trying to use both there. So you can use either this or this, doesn't matter, but just make sure you use the same on either side of your string. Okay, and there we go, just like that. Okay, so there we should have, if we come in here now, we've got, I want to delete actually some attributes, that color attribute. where is it? Attribute deletes. Oh, and anything else we don't need. Just the color, I guess, in this case. Okay, so now we've got temperature, p-scale, which is 0.2, and it should be the same here. So p-scale is 0.2, right? And yeah, we got flame, temperature, density, and a position all ready to go. Fantastic. And let's just merge that in. So I'm going to bring this down to there. Okay, so it gets that noise. Oh, let's bring the noise down as well. And then we'll merge these points back in here so that they get messed up a little bit by the noise. Okay, so let's take a look. So there we go. So you see we get a nice kind of sense of smoke kind of on the floor as well, right? So let's go back and maybe run a flipbook of that, see how that looks. Obviously, we still need to add in microsolvers, and we'll be, you know, they'll have a big effect. I'm going to have some really strong values in there. Let's push this down to, let's say, maybe 0.075 for the moment. See how that looks. Okay, and let's see if we can get that helicopter in as well. There we go. Let's make this full screen. Let's run a flipbook with that from frame 53 to 80. Maybe I'll stop it beforehand if it runs slowly. Let me save this. Actually, I haven't saved it in a while. Always remember to save. It can be really annoying. Sometimes you get those crash folders. Sometimes Houdini just vanishes and all your work vanishes with it. Okay, let's see how that comes out. I just realized I had that on low quality lighting, so I'm just going to turn that back up here and start that again. Okay, so got this flipbook playing. So yeah, you can see the effect of that. We got this cool kind of fire all over the ground there. It's nice to have a different kind of scale. We got kind of a smaller fire here, and then a big kind of lump of explosion above it with all these different kind of peaks and giving us a nice shape. And don't forget, we'll have the trails on top of this again with some nice shading and lighting. You know, it's going to look fantastic. Obviously, we need to come in now and add some velocity, some turbulence, some disturbance, definitely, to break up these edges, and a little bit of dissipation as well. But yeah, it's looking good.